I was taught to be fearless on the tennis court, but this, wow. I counted more than 200 Grand Slams wins right here. I was born to a Bengali mother who was 5'0". She captained India in basketball. Mother had intuition, quick twitch fibers. She was a great leader. I was born to a father, 6'3". He was a doctor of medicine, dotted every I, crossed every T. He was the center half of the Indian 1972 Munich field hockey team. My dad won a bronze medal in 1972, and a few of you who remember that Olympics, Palestinian terrorists took Israeli athletes hostage. The games were shut down for 4 days. The German army was in the village. Civilians were not allowed in. The athletes were not allowed out. 10,000 athletes in the Olympics, as we know, are housed along one street in alphabetical order. So India was bang opposite Israel. They boarded the windows, locked the doors, removed their televisions, and even removed their newspapers. I don't know what they were thinking, but I was conceived in those 4 days. I was born in June 1973, for any one of you who want to do the math. I grew up in Calcutta. I played street cricket and street football barefoot, and I watched these two legends on a black and white TV. Chris Evert hit a ball clean. Every single ball she hit was clean. Her shirt was tucked in. Her favorite dress was pink, and pink and white, I heard you. Martina Navratilova, left-handed, served and volleyed, picked up shoelace volleys, played aggressive tennis. I watched John McEnroe be on Borg. John McEnroe served and volleyed, picked up volleys from all over, played speed tennis. Very attractive. But in Calcutta, I grew up playing football. At the age of 11, I went to a European football academy. And on the 12th of May, 1986, those coaches told me that I had to give up my Indian passport if I wanted to play for a European football club. Fair enough. But I knew my legacy was to play for the blue of India. On the 12th of May, 1986, I moved to Madras, now known as Chennai, to the Britannia Amritraj Tennis Academy. And on that very same evening, Richard Evans was in Madras writing Vijay's book. So there I was, 11-year-old, walked up to Mr. Evans and said, "Good evening, Mr. Evans. I'm Leander Paes." And he goes, "So what would you like to be?" So I said, "Sir, I just gave up my dream of football, and I'd like to emulate my father to win an Olympic medal." And this young man said to me on the 12th of May, 1986, "If you work hard enough, Monday, maybe you can be a Hall of Famer." It's my greatest honor. It is my greatest honor to be on this stage with not only these legends of the game, people who have inspired me every single day of my life. Not because you have only won Grand Slams, not because you have only shaped the world of our sport, but every single one of these people have shaped the world that we live in. I would like to thank you so much for giving this Indian boy hope. Thank you. I would also like to thank Mrs. Amritraj and Mr. Amritraj. I did my first Holy Communion with them. May their souls rest in peace. To Prakash, Vikram, Auntie Shamla, and your family, you did good. Sir Vijay, it's my greatest honor to have learned my tennis in your academy, under your guidance, and under the guidance of Dave O'Meara, who stands here today. Please stand up. The academy was supposed to be built to build Davis Cup champions. Today, we hold the Davis Cup record for the most number of doubles wins undefeated. It's my greatest honor to be on this podium with you, Sir Richard Evans, and for inspiring a young 11-year-old Indian boy who had no idea what a Grand Slam was about at that age. But you gave me a dream that we can win Grand Slams and become Hall of Famers, sir. I thank you for that. Growing up as a kid, I used to polish my dad's medal every Sunday after church. Little dirty rag, little tin of brasso, and I'd polish it up. And always wanted one of my own. And Dad said to me I could only sit at the dining table with him if I won one. It's a different story that when I brought it home, he said, now you got to be a doctor too, because I'm one. So then I went to one of the great universities in India, and I said I want to get me a doctorate in the field of sport. And that day when I took Dad to the induction ceremony, I didn't tell him I was going to get a doctorate. But when he got to the ceremony, I walked in. There were 111,000 kids in a cricket stadium with their gowns and their hats on. And I got Dad up onto the podium, and then I walked up and they gave me a gown and a hat, and they gave me a doctorate, and I was called Dr. Leander Paes. You know, playing for 1.4 billion people could either be pressure or it could be wind within your wings. I'd like to thank every single one of my countrymen who supported me, who stood by me through all the ups and downs, and we've been through a few. But y'all were the inspiration, y'all were the support, y'all were even the strength to guide me through when I didn't believe. But as my father always said to me, you believe in yourself, you work hard, you be passionate, not only to win prize money and not only to win trophies, but you do that to inspire the world. Thank you. It's been my greatest honor to play for my countrymen in 7 Olympics, to stand when the national anthem's playing in all those Davis Cups, and to prove that we Asians can also win Grand Slams and be #1 in the world in our field, be it tennis or anything. My stepmother, Juliana, bought me my first tennis racket. It was a wooden one. I learned how to play with wood rackets, hence the chip in charge, hence not being able to hit a ball clean, hence keeping the game simple and just using my God-given gifts of speed, both with my feet and with my mind. I'd like to thank my mother, Juliana, for being the glue in our family, for bringing us together and keeping us there and showing us what's important in life. You're one special woman. Thank you. I played for a team in Washington, D.C. called the Washington Castles. Billie Jean King started World Team Tennis in 1973. A lot of these greats played it. But I had no idea the magic I was going to feel when I met Mark Hine. Mark, please stand up. Mark, his mom, his wonderful wife, Sally, his 2 kids, Charlie and the little one, Chloe. And the whole community of Washington, D.C. took me in. We not only won the World Team Tennis Championship 6 times, but we went undefeated for 4 years, the longest winning streak by any professional team in sporting history. The work that we did with community and what World Team Tennis stood for was really special. We had people from grandparents, parents, men, women, children coming out and playing and supporting us. And Mark, you taught me we refuse to lose. You might get us once, but you ain't getting all of us. We played every night as a team. And one night maybe I lost, but Serena Williams won. Maybe one night I lost, but Martina Hingis won. Maybe one night I lost, but Venus Williams won. Not a bad team, huh? I think my greatest blessing is not just my quick volleys, not just those 10,000 hours, 3 million perfect repetitions, but my greatest gift was to pick the best partners in the world. I love you, Martina. You inspired me as a kid. You inspired me on center court of Wimbledon. You inspire me today. And standing on this podium, accepting this beautiful medal. Oh. Didn't script this one. While we were doing the autographs earlier today, Richard Evans was signing on my face. I got Richard Evans' medal.
Thank you, sir. Now you can have your You should be an actor. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
That feels right. I would humbly like to bow my head and thank the International Tennis Hall of Fame for doing such an exemplary, amazing job of capturing the history of our sport, honoring athletes in our sport. And I would not like to rest here today. I would not like to rest on my 7 Olympics, 20 Grand Slams, God knows how many Davis Cups. But I would like to pledge my collaboration, my effort, my passion to honor Captain Dan, as I know him, from my favorite movie, Forrest Gump. Patrick McEnroe, who I learned so many things from on the court. I wish I had a double-handed backhand, and one of my greatest regrets in my life was that I didn't get to play doubles with Patrick McEnroe. My first mixed doubles partner at Wimbledon, Katrina Adams, who walked up to me and said, "You are playing with me." Seems to be a trend, huh? I would like to collaborate and really take the International Tennis Hall of Fame global. How? Through the Fame team, through being legendary. Our sport is the most global sport on the entire planet. Our sport is the most competitive sport on the entire planet. We've got great champions who I have the honor to share the stage with today. We've got great people who document our sport. But I would like to be legendary all across the world, because my dream now that I've retired from tennis is use my vehicle of tennis and collaborate my brand with all these champions to inspire 250 million children across the world in the next 15 years. I know it's a big number, but I feel the world is in a vulnerable place today. And my personal feeling is our sport of tennis, which is the first sport that had equality in prize money for women as for men, equality in scholarships for women as for men, thanks to Title IX, equal opportunity as for women as for men. And just like Prakash said earlier, equal opportunity for us cats too. I think the International Hall of Fame is one of the greatest institutions in the world, and they do great work. So whether it's through the Chris Evert Learning Foundation, whether it's through the Andre Agassi School, whether it's through any of these legends, I humbly request that we use our sport of tennis to inspire 250 million children across the world over the next 15 years and make our world a better place to live. Jai Hind, thank you.